So we are here. It is episode 4 of the Ebike Community Spotlight. And today is a very special episode. If you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you for viewing this episode. And if you're not subscribed, you might want to consider subscribing so you don't miss any future episodes. In today's episode, I want to introduce to you one of the most creative persons that I have had the pleasure of meeting. This guy has put together some really incredible pieces that he will talk to you about. I consider him an artist as well as a friend. If you ever want something done that is different, that will stand out, that will get heads to turn, give him free range. Free range to do what he specializes in. So not only is he an artist, but he also builds batteries. So if you know where I'm leading, yes, he does work over at Powerful Lithium. And I was introduced to this guy by the fellas over at Inspire Cycles, also known as the Electric Goons. So who is it that I'm referring to? Without any further ado, let's get into this one. So I present to you episode 4 of the Ebike Community Spotlight.
Hi, my name is Mackie. I work at Powerful Lithium. Everyone knows me as Mac Mittens. That's my Instagram handle. You can follow my art page too. It's workspace_creatives. All my resin custom art pieces. I use my IG more like a portfolio. I just post all my finished products on my workspace account. I have people like DM me if they want custom artwork, and then I go from there. But all my work is pretty custom, and they're one of one to the owner. So I don't have a page that is for you to just pick one, because it's not mass produced. And then we plan it out. We work, you know, it's like a 50-50 kind of process. You know, you give me your input, I put mine, and then we make something out of it. Follow my workspace. You'll see a lot of my resin work. I work with a lot of birch, different types of wood, and I basically make custom art pieces, and then I use epoxy resin to just finish it off. This was what I used to do prior. Well, I was technically juggling my art and doing batteries with the guys, and then, you know, I'd be working batteries during the day. I come home, I had a studio in my house, so I was doing artwork downstairs. And then because the battery business just kind of started booming, especially because it's summertime, I kind of put that one in the back burner, and then just kind of was doing batteries full time. But then, you know, with the Onyx guys coming in with their wooden battery covers, I kind of was like, hey, I had an idea. Everyone kind of looks the same with the same stock covers. So I was like, you know what, maybe I could implement some of my creative arts and then epoxy at the same time, because the resin kind of like it protects your battery cover. It keeps it fully waterproof, prevents it from warping. But then I've noticed like all the guys get these little chips on the edges when they put their battery covers. It actually prevents that. It makes it stronger. But you know, that's just the bonus. I think the main part is just to be distinct, just kind of like to personalize it and just look different from every other Onyx cover. So, and you know, you can go as wild as you want, you know, and this is where it comes in. You tell me what you want, we throw back ideas back and forth, and then from there we can go as wild as, you know, like yours. You have a QR code. Because I know you're a YouTuber, and if you guys don't follow Mr. E, just pull up next to his bike, scan his QR code, and you'll be right on his page. But yeah, no, I thought that was a neat idea. That's the future. It was a nightmare trying to make that sticker though. But we can go as wild as like reflective stickers, colored flakes. You know, the possibility is endless with the resin. And we could completely change colors too. Doesn't have to be the wood grain, but I think the wood grain is very nice. That's just one aspect of modding that we do here. There'll be many more coming up. I actually started as an e-skater. So that what was out there then. You know, e-bikes was non-existent, I think. At least not to this level. But I had a boosted board to start. I put my money down. I waited like a year and a half until it came, and then sure enough, it came in February with snow on the ground, so I couldn't ride it. Then come that summer, I started riding it heavy. I actually got inspired by Casey, of course, and then I met Brentley Builds. Follow his Instagram too. Yeah, me and Brentley rode around, and then I started riding in the city more. I was part of like the whole e-skate group, and then one summer, I got hit by a car, and that ended everything. I was terrified. I don't ever want to get on an e-skate. Maybe in the future I will, but it's just our streets are just too much potholes here. It's just dangerous, and at that time I was riding like a maniac. Like I was out, and I just got hurt. I had surgery. They had to like put screws in my foot. So and I didn't walk for 6 months. I was literally in my house, and I can't afford to do that anymore. So, and I still love electric. So then my boy Rob basically was like, yo, get into the e-bike. It's safer. So then from there, I think I picked up my first bike. It was a Z1 Super 73. I just thought yeah, it's that one. That one was my first one, and then I just started modding it. Well, the problem was range, right? This was the lowest model, which had 20 miles, I think, top speed, like 15, 20 miles in range. So then we started tinkering. With e-skate background, we kind of knew how to do a little thing with batteries. So we just started, learning from it. It was like self-taught kind of thing. But all of us friends were like tinkering with it, so we just started learning how to build bigger packs, different shapes and sizes, and then we just, the group just kind of came together. More and more people started liking the whole e-bike, and everybody in my group of friends we're all tinkerers. We fix cars and stuff. Everyone likes to mod things. So from there, it just transitioned. When I owned my Z1, I went to like my first group ride, and I kind of noticed like, oh man, everybody still, at the end of the day, their bikes kind of look very similar to each other. Everybody was buying parts from Amazon, all just plug and play. But like, just the way I am, it's like, I can never have anything stock. So I started, and with my art background, first things first, I took my bike apart, and then I custom painted it. I got it powder coated, and then I ripped off Super 73 decals all over, which they hated it. And then I put my own branding, and then I clear coated it on top to make it more official. So you can't peel it. It's like literally custom made, and then I put built by Mittens all over. Just because it was mine. It's completely one of one. Now, actually every time I went to a group ride, they kind of never wanted to post my bike. As pretty as I thought my bike was, they never wanted to post it, just because they said it wasn't a Super 73. But whatever. But
fast forward to today.
Yeah, but
everybody wants to scoop.
Yeah, like it was like the I guess the people didn't think it was a Super 73, but all the people that rode kind of wanted in. They wanted all the custom mods and stuff like that. So I sat back and was like, you know what? There's a market for this. People just don't want batteries. They want lights, all the extra add-ons. But you want lights, but hardwired. You don't want to have a charge pack every time, or a power bank to power your lights. You want just like a motorcycle. You just want to turn your bike on. It draws power from your battery. So we do mods like that. I like the aesthetics. That's my thing. I like customizing paint. It just kind of differentiates every bike. I feel like if it's your bike, it feels better when it's your color of choice. It's your color. It's your decals. Anything to your specs. I think with the e-bike, it's like, you know, make it your own. So, and there's not too many places out there that even want to touch these bikes. Regular bike shops don't care for us. They don't even want to help us for a flat. So, you know, that's why we kind of thought about, you know what, besides having a battery shop, I think we should offer these type of services, the whole modding and custom parts. Going back to what I was telling you, so I e-skated, and the reason for that was because I managed a bike shop in Manhattan for like years. That's kind of why I know how to fix bikes, you know. I used my skateboard. I live in Jersey, so I used my skateboard to get back and forth to the train. You know, it was like a last mile vehicle. So I would just work in the city, get on my skateboard. After work, I would meet up with my boy Rob. You can follow him on his IG. He does great work, custom stuff, upholstery. It's vinyl by Bobby. Mr. E's gonna put the link. So I used to I used to skate from the shop to Rob's other shop, and we did upholstery. So just a little quick background. I went to upholstery school, and I learned how to stitch. Like make seats. I actually know how to make custom seats and stuff. And me and Rob did tons of work. We did like, at one point we used to go into bars. I used to walk into bars and like look at all the stools that were ripped up, and I used to be like, hey, let me talk to the manager. Like, and I would talk to them and be like, hey, can I just do all your seats? And I used to grab all the seats with my pickup truck and then reupholster all of them and turn it around in like a day or two. So that was like my hustle. And same thing, I used to just use my skateboard to get back and forth, and that's kind of was like how we got into the batteries. Because Rob, at one point, he was like, man, what is this thing? It's like so dangerous. Like, you're on an electric skateboard. But then I let him ride it, and then sure enough, he was like, yo, this is pretty cool. So he got into the skateboard, and then we just was like, man, there's got to be a way to make this thing faster, stronger, like more battery. So from the skateboard, we just was like, it's not fast enough. I mean, we want to go faster, but it's just too dangerous. So we got on the e-bike, and you know, that was the biggest issue. You can't make it go fast unless you change the motor, and you need power. So the battery's the biggest factor, right? So we started looking into how we can make bigger packs. And Rob actually, he got my foot in there because after my accident, I didn't want to nothing to do with it. And when I got better, he was like, look, you know, you should come work with me. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of work, and I need help. So I kind of went back to the shop, but this time we weren't doing upholstery anymore. We were doing batteries. So he kind of just taught me the stuff, showed me the ropes, and you know, it just kind of, we just started doing more and more of it. But Rob, same thing, he had a full-time job, so he couldn't really expand the way he wanted to. So I just kind of, you know, figured out how I can get more clients. So we kind of moved over and went to another shop and just started our own. And that's kind of how I met. And me and Andy been friends for a long time. And Andy, you know, I brought him in. And Andy actually worked with me at Rob's place. And then we kind of moved over, and then V came in the picture. And then Powerful Lithium came. So my first bike was a Z1. I completely stripped the color. It was orange. Then I turned it into the Battleship Gray or Nardo Gray, and then completely customized all the decals. Put a headlight from Baja Designs. It was yellow, super bright. I custom reupholstered my seat, and then the big pack. So I have a big in-seat battery, which I call the secret sauce, and then I have a Super Shark on it. Well, that was first. Now it's completely different. It's got like 72 volt, 11P, and it's a monster. Maybe too much for a Z1, but it's completely dipped in epoxy, and it lights up. It's still in the works, actually. And it's got a QS motor. So, you know, it's pretty quick, but it's kind of dangerous. It pops a wheelie. So you got to be very careful. I don't let nobody ride it unless I know they're experienced. And it also has a domino throttle, which is great. Magura brakes. And then I have my other Z1, which is chameleon painted Magura brakes also. I got the carbon fiber components on that one. It's got a carbon fiber disc, carbon fiber under tub where the battery goes, that I made. The carbon wheel cover also I made. In the beginning, actually, I felt like I was the first one that had it. And then, now but I couldn't produce them enough because I know a lot of people were coming up to me asking me like, hey, how can I get my hands on one of these? And I told them it was actually a prototype. I did it for myself. I didn't want to mass produce them because it was a nightmare to even just get it on the bike, because with all the clearances from the disc rotors and the wheel, it was, I did it for myself, but I had the patience to do it. I think if you were to buy it, it just wasn't perfected yet to be like a plug and play for the consumer. So I kind of just, same thing with a ton of my project. It just, I made it one of one. But now, you can purchase them. I've seen some companies out there that have wheel fairings and covers. So going back to the Z1, I like working on Z1s. I don't know. I feel like they're the underdogs in the community. They're cheap to begin with, but it's like the entry level e-bike. But after you put some money into it, you definitely need front suspension, because it's just too jarring to ride it. You feel every bump, but the front suspension definitely takes the edge off. It softens up the ride, and then it's an easy bike to work with. But I like it because the way the frame is, it's made out of steel, so it's super strong. And technically steel, you can put a lot of weight to them. And that's where I come in, where we can put a crazy big battery in it and make this thing as fast as it can be. And yeah, the Z1 being the underdog, it's like a sleeper, man. Like, people come up to you and they're like, yeah, I want to race. It's like, all right, I have a Z1. Well, what do you got? And they sleep on it, and it's the greatest thing when you spank them like on those race nights. And then, so the Z1, so I like to create mods, right? So every bike I have, I'll sit there and figure out ways on how I can just make it different. So there's tons of mods for the Z1 that I have, but now the Onyx, like, I just kind of opened up this whole new battery cover thing. But I have tons of ideas for the Onyx. Come winter, I have some mods that I'm gonna be making, like the side panels. And some really serious mods where we're gonna cut up some stuff in the Onyx to just make more room for batteries. So, but that requires welding, and that's a winter project. But I just recently purchased an RX, so with that, there'll be tons of mods for that too, because like I said, I can't keep anything stock. But definitely battery enclosures, we want to put bigger batteries on the RX as well. So that's going to be in the works. And carbon fiber stuff, tons of carbon fiber. With the big moves, like if you wanted to powder coat your frame, I mean, I call that the winter project, right? Where you're not going to ride your bike, so it's the best time to take it apart. Take it apart where, we strip everything down. This is the best time to get your custom paint, and then put everything back together. But with whatever aftermarket parts you purchase, put it together and then be ready for springtime. But the big moves usually happen in the winter. That's the best time to dive in, to get into all this stuff. And you can feel free to drop your bike off, and we do consultation. We're in Jersey City, New Jersey. We're like literally across the river from the city, New York City. Powerful Lithium, you can find us here. Winter time, best time for you to drop your bike off, and we do consultations regarding battery builds, mods, paint jobs, custom decals, lighting kits, all that stuff. Like I said, if you feel like you're not gonna be using your bike this winter, it's probably the best time to drop it off and get all this work done. If you're in the tri-state, it's a quick drive. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. My name is, everyone knows me as Mac Mittens. You can come to Powerful Lithium. Just remember, the best mods cannot be seen from the outside. Powerful Lithium. And then V came in the picture. And then Powerful Lithium came. And then from here, the world is ours. Don't worry, don't put that. I don't know. Yeah. Don't put that. Yeah, shout out to my girl. Just because she always helps me out. She stays here late night hours, and yeah, you know, it's not just me. You know, she's behind the scenes too, just cranking stuff, doing meticulous work, like peeling stickers off your QR code. But yeah, you know, she wouldn't be able to do this without her too.